Welcome to your go-to show for real estate matters, brought to you from the stables of Babsomo Communications. My name is Layole Oyatogun, and Property First show starts now. Having the right foundation for your building is a major requirement for its safety and longevity. On today's show, we'll be examining foundation and its role in ensuring a strong, safe and stable building. We appreciate all our social media followers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Google+. If you're not yet a member of our social media community, then follow us at Property First Show. We're always delighted to receive and respond to all your messages via text messages, phone call and emails, so please keep them coming. We've had some really fantastic previous episodes, so if you've missed any, just search for Property First Show on YouTube, subscribe, like and comment. Do you have a property for sale, or are you into a property related business? Or do you have a real estate event you'd like us to cover? Then call the number 090-2023-2719 or 081-8653-3938. You can also send an email to propertyfirst@babsomocommunications.com. Also on the show today, we have a special guest from SMARTBRICKS Impact Properties Limited. It's time for our property showcase segment, and we have two absolutely beautiful properties you don't want to miss. On today's episode, we bring you two attractive properties built for that person who places a high premium on privacy and comfort. Both properties are located in the Lekki-Ajah axis of Lagos. Our first property offering for today is a 4-bedroom detached duplex located in a quiet neighborhood in Osakpa, London area of Lekki, Lagos. On the ground floor of the building is a very spacious living room with a dining area and a visitor's toilet. There is also a fully furnished kitchen which boasts of appliances like a gas cooker with accompanying heat extractor, a washing machine, a microwave oven, and a marble-top work table. A back door in the kitchen leads you to the backyard where you have the boys' quarters. A marble-tiled staircase with stainless steel handrails leads you upstairs where you have a family lounge. Two of the bedrooms open into the family lounge, one of which is a very large master bedroom and its own built-in wardrobe. A bookshelf. It has its own balcony made with glass and stainless steel. The bathroom is fitted with a glass cubicle shower, bathtub, water heater, wash and basin. The other rooms have similar features and all the doors and frames are made of polished wood. This building is connected to public power supply. Water supply is provided with the installation of a borehole and water treatment plant. The building is well secured with the installation of an electric fence, CCTV cameras, and entrance into the building is through very strong steel gates. Other features include intercom facilities. It also has ample parking space with a carport provided. For documentation, the building has governor's consent. Price 75 million naira. Now let's move to further down the Lekki-Epe Expressway to an area called Thomas Estate, about 500 meters off the expressway. Located within this neighborhood is another estate known as Victory Estate. Tucked away in a quiet location within this estate is a 4-bedroom fully detached duplex with 1-room boys' quarters. This property, which sits on a 225 square meter land area, will be well appreciated by those who love a combination of elegance and tranquility. This property has the following features: a spacious living room with a dining area, a fully fitted kitchen with a gas cooker, heat extractor, washing machine, wash and basin on marble slabs for work area, and a store. All spaces within this building are fully tiled and all rooms are en suite. Beautiful handrails on tiled staircase leads you upstairs where you have the family lounge, which leads to the master bedroom and 2 other bedrooms. The master bedroom has a walk-in closet, and the bathroom is equipped with a cubicle shower, jacuzzi, wash and basin, water closet, and water heater. The view from the master bedroom balcony is breathtaking. The family lounge also has its balcony. Other features in the building include a central sound system with speakers and volume control, a variety of modern light fittings and switches in the different rooms and spaces. Provision is made for cable TV. Within the premises is a carport and a gatehouse. The building is secured with an electric fence and entry is through a high-quality sliding metal gate. Power and water supply are provided. This building is available at the price of 55 million naira net. It's time for the GC package from SMARTBRICKS Impact Properties Limited. This promo will blow your mind. Enjoy it. Hello everyone. You know, on Property First, we always bring you first-hand information about some of the juicy deals in the real estate industry. That's why we're here at SMARTBRICKS Impact Properties Limited with the MD, Solomon Jew. Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you, I'm fine.
Good to have you on the show.
Same here.
Now, tell us about SMARTBRICKS and what you do here.
Okay, SMARTBRICKS is a property development company, and we are into management, procurement, that is land procurement, development, and project packaging. You know, we sell properties abroad, majorly in Atlanta, for non-residents, and we can also get mortgage for them to pay within 10 to 20 years. So, and also in Nigeria, we have properties all around which we have acquired, and also developing, which is plus or minus over a period of many years. That's around 10 years now we've been around, delivering unequal service to customers, and I believe that's the reason why we're still existing and will continue to.
So we understand that you have a promo plan right now. Tell us about it.
It's Easter and it's a season of love. We are doing this also to show love and encourage people to invest in property. And as we are called housemaid. We want to be your housemaid, help you achieve your housing dreams. So for Easter, we have over 50% price slash in our properties, and we also get some a little bit of discount, which is about 10%, and on the already discounted price. So
double discount.
Double discount. You know, there is this package where you pay 50%, 50,000 naira deposit, and you spread your balance within 12 to 36 months, and you get a bag of rice and a chicken. The property in Opik, which we have the Heritage Park phase 1 and phase 3. The phase 1 is 6.5 million and the phase 3 is 2.5 million. The phase 1 started at 2.5 million, but now is valued at 6.5. So, but the phase 3 now is still at 2.5, which everyone can take advantage of. At Ibejuleki, it's before the Fitray zone, and we know very well the Ibejuleki is a place to be. If you're not there yet, please go there. If you're not investing there yet, please invest there, because something big is about to happen. Ibejuleki now is selling at 1.7 million, the one at the Fitray zone area, and properties downward are selling 7 million, 4 million, thereabout. After the promo is definitely going to change, and the documentation on it is a gazetted property. He has his extension already.
What's the payment plan?
Yeah, the payment plan, if you like, if you want to pay outright, you get a 10% discount, and also you also get to win one of our deep freezers or gas cooker and all of that. If you want to spread your payment, you are allowed to spread your payment within 12 to 36 months.
What's the first installment?
Yeah, your first installment can be 50,000. But if you don't have 50,000, you can do any amount a down payment, or you do your first installment. I get me, it's not necessarily you, because we want to cater to everybody. For Ibejuleki, we have 2 locations, and the other location is at the airport area, and that is 1.5 million now. So you can also do a deposit of 50,000 and spread your balance over 12 months. But it's not compulsory, because we are not out for the money, really. We are out to actually make everybody a property owner and achieving your landlord dream. There's one also, the Brick Hill Gardens at Shimawa, that is behind the new IOCCG auditorium. We know how it is. Things are going on there, and development is coming in, day out. And thank God for the Redeem project ongoing there. It has really opened the place up. There's so many real estate developing there. So, but presently now is 620,000, which you can also do same, do 50%. 50,000 naira down deposit and spread the balance. But there's something we all need to know. To be a landlord, you don't have to buy a full plot. If you don't have the capacity for a full plot, the definition of a plot or a plot is a size that can actually house you. Put a roof over your head. We've broken it down. 600 square meter, which is the 60 by 120, and the 300 square meter, which is the half plot, 60 by 60. So we also have 200 square meter, that is the 200 square meter, the full plot, which is 60 by 120 divided into 3. Everybody can actually buy. And also there's 150 square meter, which is divided into 4. So a terrace duplex can sit on this conveniently, and you have a beautiful roof over your head. Even when we travel abroad, we just stay in a terrace. We have a property which is called the Impact Farmstead. The Impact Farmstead is a farm program. Everybody can become a farm owner. And in becoming a farm owner, a lot of people shy away from being a farmer. Being a farmer has upgraded from tilling the ground. It has really upgraded. We can actually farm without soil. You can farm without holding your digger, doing a lot of rough work. And this is we are bringing a lot of infrastructure into it, and where you can have, even if you're buying a plot, you're having a yield of 1 acre on a plot. The plot is just 200,000.
Where is it located?
It's located at Mokoloki. You can access it through Mowe. But to also encourage you to do this, if you pay 50%, they take you to your land. They allocate your land to you, and you start work.
So you don't necessarily do farming?
No, we have teams of experts on ground. I get me one that will train you. You need to get a background information. You can be in your office. There will be a report system, But the truth is, you have your farm yield.
Do you have any other promo right now?
If you're buying 2 plots, you get a plot free.
Do I have to pay outrightly?
You have to pay outrightly, so you get that. But you have the open window to buy that too within a space of 3 months. It's only the phase 1, the Heritage phase 1, which is quick, that is sold for 6.5 million now, that is excluded. but every other location, Shimawa, Ibejuleki, the farm area too, is included.
All right, thank you so much for telling us about some of your cheesy, packages and sharing love during this period. It was good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to serve.
Our Real Estate Digest segment is next. But before that, let's go on a break. We'll be right back. Real Estate Digest brought to you by Nightstone Properties. The Oyo State government pays compensation to 77 landowners whose lands were recently acquired for mass production of cassava. The Kaduna State government has commenced the construction of 600 mass housing units and a world-class shopping mall in Kaduna Millennium City. Town planners advise Lagos State government to revisit its drainage master plan in view of the fast approaching raining season to avoid flooding. Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors seeks stricter project monitoring to curb the high level of corruption going on within the construction industry. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki gives 48-hour turnaround ultimatum for approval of building plans. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria warns mortgage bankers against delaying disbursement of funds to developers. Lagos State Government commissioned 70,000 passenger capacity world-class bus terminal in Ikeja. That's all we have for you in this segment. Join us next week for updates in the real estate industry. Real Estate Digest was brought to you by Nightstone Properties. Of all the elements in a building, the most important part is the foundation. Unfortunately, this critical aspect is usually ignored by majority of landlords and property developers. This has led to structural failures and building collapse with the attendant loss of lives. On this week's episode, we'll be beaming our searchlight on foundations and the importance to your building. I have with me the president of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild and a fellow of Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect George Akinola. Good day, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking up time to talk with us.
You're welcome.
Okay, sir, tell us briefly what a foundation is to a building.
Well, let's put it this way. Whatever comes off the ground has to stand on something. And architecture or any architectural creation must stand on a solid structure. And that solid structure that is standing on, buried under the ground, is what we call the foundation. Without the foundation, the house cannot stand. And the foundation must be right for the building to stand properly. So basically, that's what the foundation is. But when you want to define it a bit more scientifically, you will say a foundation is the substructure on which a superstructure is built upon.
So who are the experts or professionals in the real estate industry whose services should be sought before foundations are constructed?
It's actually teamwork. As the president of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild, we have architects, builders, engineers, estate managers and surveyors, town planners, and quantity surveyors, all of us 7 in the built environment. So the teamwork from the beginning to the end of construction, even until the house is occupied, those are the people that are involved. But when it comes to foundation specifically, a surveyor must have done his work. The land surveyor must have done his work. So you already lay out where the extremities of the buildings are, such that when they want to put in the structure, starting from the foundation, the structural engineer will not extend beyond the extremities that the surveyor has defined. And issues of subsidence, will be taken care of from the point of view of the land surveyor before the job now goes to the architect who designs the structure. Now, before that time, there must have been some studies of the soil, which a geotechnical engineer should have investigated to know whether this kind of soil, what capacities it can bear. So it will determine the bearing capacity of the soil and so many other parameters.
We understand that there are different types of foundations. So can you explain to us what they are and the kind of buildings that require them?
4 basic types of foundations. Number 1, the pad foundation, which is like a point foundation. The second one is the strip foundation, and the strip foundation is basically not so much of reinforcement on the strip, you know, but at point loads, you know, you can have, but it's fairly continuous along a stretch. It's not point. While the third one is the what they call the raft foundation. Raft foundations are quite a number. You know, you can have the cellular raft, the ordinary raft, the piled up, you know, the grid kind of rafts. The raft foundation is reinforced along its length. That is, if a wall is coming up, that wall is reinforced, and the reinforcement is tied to a slab, such that the building, the structure essentially floats on the proverbial water, so to say. You use raft foundation for soils that are not so good, like the one we have in the Sherry North, swampy area. So it tends to float theoretically, you know, because it's hooked together on the horizontal and on the vertical. That is on the slabs and on the foundation beams. So it's hooked together by the reinforcement. So it's floating essentially. Then the one that is for extremely difficult terrains is the pile foundation. Of course, just like the raft foundation, you have many pile foundation types. You have the end-bearing piles, you have the friction piles, you have all kinds of piles. Piles are those ones that when you come to construction sites, you see a machine driving them, making this they are driving that, driving the pile, you know, into the substructure, the end-bearing substructure of the ground, such that it gets to a point where it does not move again. That is end-bearing. They use this one for bridges, you know, they use it for high-rise buildings and stuff like that. So you have quite a number of all those types. Sometimes you use a friction, you know, that is the friction of the soil. As it's going down, sometimes it becomes so difficult for the thing they are driving to go further down because of the friction of the sides of the soil. So that's a friction pile. But pile foundations are extremely useful for difficult terrains.
How important are foundations to the longevity of a building?
I think that cannot be overestimated. It goes without saying that if your foundation is faulty, you know, you don't have, just like the proverb in the Bible that talks about building your house on the solid rock, you know, that's the end-bearing, you know, place that pile goes. So if you build your house on sandy soil and whatever, and you don't use the correct type of foundation, it will fall to pieces. So the house is supposed to last longer than the building. So if your building is going to last 50 years, you design for a foundation that will last 75. Because the people that inherit you may ultimately decide to take over and extend the life of that building. So foundations are supposed to survive the superstructure. They must be solid enough to do that. And they are supposed to even carry, theoretically, they are designed to carry more than the building will, more than the imposed building that the building will have on the ground. Ultimately, such that people abuse buildings. In the process of abusing the building, maybe the building is designed to carry X weight, and the people who are using it put X plus 1. The engineer would have designed for X plus 5, so that, you know, it will take care of that tolerance of misbehavior.
Are there recommended standards for foundations in the different kinds of buildings?
Yeah, just like I said, residential buildings, essentially, unless you are building on the sea, you are not likely to be encouraged by the structural engineer to use a pile foundation. You understand? So, but if you are building in a swampy area and it's a small residential building like ours, ultimately the engineer will advise you probably after doing his calculation that it's in order to use a raft. But where the soil type is not so troublesome, you may be encouraged to use the strip or mix the strip with the pad. And I have to emphasize that I'm not talking here as a structural engineer. I'm talking here as an architect that has sufficient knowledge to work with a qualified structural engineer. Because I have designed some structures where my engineer will tell me, no, it's not possible. I will tell him, go and read, go and research. It's possible. Why am I saying that? Because I have some fair knowledge of what he has to do. And most of the time, engineers do the impossible. Structural engineers, when they are challenged, they do the impossible. They literally hang you in space and get your structure achieved. So the dream of the architect depends on the quality of the engineer that he has. The achievement of the dream of the architect depends on the quality of the structural engineer that he has.
Alright, so on a final note, I'd like you to advise our audience at home, both developers, architects, and people who are actually, homeowners and all. What is your final advice for them?
Well, some people were trained to put up buildings. They were sent to school, some for 5 years, some for 7 years, like me, I spent 8 years in school, to put up a building. It is our training. It's our specialty. We are the experts. I will advise anybody who's going to put up a building, go through the experts. There is no shortcut to it. Go through the experts. You don't know it. Number 2, don't shortcut government approval. Make sure government signs into your project by approving it and say, this is good. In my hometown in those days, before all these approval agencies came up, there used to be our own local method of approval. There was a particular very experienced man. In those days, I'm talking about the 18th century, like 2 centuries ago. The man will come and write on your building, Eyidara Ududu. Eyidara, that is.
What does that mean, sir?
Eyidara, that is, this is good. And that man's name was Dudu. So if we say Eyidara, then we put like this, Dudu. That is, me as the custodian of building technology in this town, I have approved this. So ensure that your government approval agencies sign into your building. And then number 3 is that don't abuse your buildings. If a building is designed to be 2 floors, let it stop at 2 floors. Don't go and put 5 floors on top of a 2-floor design. Then people will say Nigerian architects, Nigerian engineers don't know what they are doing. No, the Nigerian engineer has designed for 2 floors. You want to put 5. How can it stand? It will come down. So that's what I'm advising the Nigerian public.
Thank you so much, sir. This has been an amazing learning process for me, and I also hope that a lot of people at home have learned, as opposed to what many people do in Nigeria, just, get people around to build and all. So I hope that people will start practicing, the right way and building the right way. Thank you so much for taking time out and for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Right. Have a great day.
You too.
This is where we draw the curtain on today's episode. Thank you for staying with us, and I hope you also enjoyed the beautifully designed properties we brought to you. Have you made up your mind about which one to buy? And I hope you've also learned a thing or two about foundations and its importance to your building. For advert placements and inquiries, call the number 090-2023-2719 or 081-8653-3938. Let the conversation continue on all our social media platforms at Property First Show. So we come your way again next week with your weekly guide in the real estate market. Remember, with Property First, you're covered. I'm Laili Oyatogun. Bye-bye.